You're about to listen to a podcast from the Firearms Radio Network. For more, visit firearmsradio.net.
Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 533. This show is brought to you by VZ Grips, Walker Defense, Primary Arms, and XS Sights. In this show, I have a CP Firearms review. We talked with the Kids Safe Foundation founder, Derek. We might discuss some other products. Kind of depends on if we have time. So my guess is probably not. But as you may know, we showcase guns, gear, anything else you might be interested in. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm Chad Wallace. Tonight we have Tony, Rob, Rusty, and of course, Derek.
Thank you.
And that leads us straight into the VZ Grips ad that Rusty's supposedly going to take care of.
Well, I am. VZ Grips has been manufacturing quality handgun grips since 2003 with a reputation for quality, consistency, and innovation. Top-tier manufacturers choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, patterns, colors, and are manufactured for proprietary G10 micro carbon fiber or polymer, available with a varying degree of texture. VZ offers a wide range of grips for all different firearm types. Made in the USA, VZ gives you the grip you can count on. Feature grip of the week is the VZ Operator 2 for the Taurus LFR.
That's the large frame revolver.
Okay. I just didn't know what the LFR was.
I know you're working and tired, so I get it. Yeah.
So coupon code GGR15 gets you 15% off handgun grips and handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com.
Sweet. So now we're into what we did in firearms. I'm going to let Derek go first since he's the guest, if he did anything.
If I did anything, what do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you did anything in firearms.
What do you do in firearms?
So a little bit about me.
Did you
so I run a
did you go shooting or did you have a class? That type of stuff.
Oh,
we'll get into you later in the stuff.
My days run together. So I've been creating some content the last couple of days out on the range for Arrow. I got some new cameras that I'm kind of working on and figuring out. And then we got a Lahar can finally out of jail, so I got to put that to test, and that was really fun. And I was impressed. It seemed like it was a little bit better at mitigating the sound and the gases compared to the dead air that I have. So I was happy with that.
Sweet. Rob, did you make it to do anything?
No, I was going to. The weathermen are idiots in this state because they said it's supposed to be 50% and 60% chance of rain over the weekend. So I said, I'll just work around the house and do indoor stuff. It was freaking beautiful both days. Figure, if I'd have gone out and tried to do something like go flying and go to the gun range, it would have poured. But no, I didn't do anything this past weekend. So
that sucks.
Yeah, well, you can't ever trust the weatherman. The only people surprised about the weather are the idiots that reported on TV.
That's probably true. I'm going to go with Tony next just because I'm going to go with Rusty last because he probably has more than Tony and I combined.
Yeah, so over the weekend, I got invited to the Lehigh Valley shooting clays for the CNJFO fundraiser. So that was really great. That was a round of clay shooting, 100 rounds, 12 gauge. And they split up because last year I won high team. I was on the high team. We won. So, of course, they split us up this year. And I was with a young man who was 16 years old. He was on the clay shooting team for that actual range. And his either dad or granddad. I don't know which one because I didn't bother asking. But we had a good time on the course. And I scored a 74, which isn't horrible, especially for somebody that shoots once a year, shoots clays. So we had a good time. We raised some money. We actually spoke about the lawsuit that CNJFO is launching against the state to get rid of the pistol permit and pistol permit process, and also get rid of the 1 month, one handgun a month restriction. So that's the first time actually CNJFO has instigated a lawsuit against the state instead of joining other groups in fighting it. So this is kind of one of those things that's important for this group because they started in 2015 and they've grown to the point that they now can launch their own lawsuits. So I think that was pretty cool.
That is.
So that's what I did. It was a good time. And I can't wait because this is going to be a straight win. We filed this in federal court. And with Bruin, I mean, it's right off the bat. We didn't have fees in 1791, and we didn't have waiting periods in 1791, and we didn't have pistol purchase permits in 1791. So I was listening to the lawyers talk today, and one of the funniest things she said was, I'd really like to know, I can't wait to hear in court why they need 2 sets of digital fingerprints from us.
Yeah,
because bad guys only buy one handgun a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's that, but it was like, well, why do I need to continually go through the pistol permit purchase thing every time I buy a handgun? So I'm on my 16th handgun, and I still have to go through this process, and I still have to get my prints done. What? That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that part. I mean, the one thing I liked about living in North Carolina is if you got your concealed carry, that became your pistol purchase permit. I think they finally got rid of it about 2 years ago, but I mean, your concealed carry was your license to buy as many firearms as you want, and they didn't track that crap. Florida's kind of stupid in that, although I've got a concealed carry, I still have to go through a background check through the FBLE.
Well, the whole thing is, I mean, because this is about what we did in guns, but the reason we went there is because the amount of money they raised. They raised through not only the tickets that we sold, but the raffles that we did. And I also won 2 raffles. And of course, all this stuff, whatever I won is going to be obviously at the next diversity shoot as a raffle item. Everybody laughed at that. And I'm like, I'm not joking.
No, that's what Tony does. Sounds like fun. I actually did something too. They had that match I was going to that I was debating what pistol to run. I did run the 320. It was the Four Spirits Foundation match, and Four Spirits is a distillery here, local. They make, whiskey, rum, stuff like that. Pretty good stuff too. So I will say that, but they have a foundation that helps support veterans. Like they have a scholarship fund for veterans that want to go in to the local college and do like brewing science, whatever they call that degree, various other things too. So it was a match to help raise money for them. A lot of fun. It's like half USPSA, half Steel Challenge is kind of how the match was, like 3 stages of each. They don't do USPSA scoring. It's basically you have to get an A and a C hit on the target to neutralize it. If you get 2 C's, then you have 1 miss, and it's 3 seconds. They just do it just to make it easier for scorekeeping for them. But they used to put on matches for different charity exactly like this, and they were loads of fun. I didn't win any of the raffle prizes. I mean, it was good. I know Primary Arms and XS Sights both sent them some stuff, which was pretty cool. It looked like Primary Arms sent them like 4 different optics. XS Sights sent some free sight certificates. So, those were on the prize table, stuff like that. So, it's always good when our sponsors help support local stuff like that. They were really good about it. I just asked them if they wanted their contact info, and sure enough, they helped support it. But it's a fun match. I think I am kind of like Tony. I placed 16th out of 56 to 60 people overall. They don't have any class scores, so I figured I did pretty good. I can't complain. I had fun. That's really all that mattered. The rest of the weekend, I was ill. I had a fever Saturday night, Sunday. So, who knows? That's what happens when you go have fun and you get sick. I don't know. But the star of what we did is going to be Rusty. Tell us about what you did, Rusty.
Oh, I just drove to GunCon in Iowa.
That's a lie. You were telling us that your wife drove.
Oh, she drove. I rode. I got off work Thursday morning, and we took off. And was it Thursday morning? Yeah, Thursday morning. Took off and drove to Grinnell, Iowa, to Brownell's headquarters, and we went to GunCon out there that John Patton, the Gun Collective, put on. And I tell you what, it was a fantastic trip. The only real bad thing was we got drowned like rats out there at the shooting range. They have a kind of like a football lightning thing. Is like lightning. Once you have to wait 30 minutes to make sure it doesn't lighten. So we had like a 2-hour delay out there. But there was a lot of good vendors out there. Wilson Combat was there. The guys from Stuff and Things with the new Stizon, the Bison, they had it out there. Of course, Brownells had their gun out there, had their retro build. Beretta shotguns, not Beretta, but Beretta. I guess that's how you say it.
Or Brett.
Beretta, yeah.
Yeah.
Matador Arms was there. Of course, Dave from High Point was there. I mean, who can't go wrong with that going to shoot?
Yeah, I saw the picture. I saw the picture of Tony and him.
Yeah, I know that was a great picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even get to see Tony out there, but I'm glad he was there. And,
I thought you did. I thought you were. No. I thought there was a video of you yelling at him.
Oh well, I did. I'm sorry, I did. I yelled at him at the range once, and he gave me a smug look. And then during the live feed, I got up there and asked a question, and I said, "I'm glad y'all have diversity up there and have Tony Simon up on stage since you're the only black man up there." And I almost said, "I'm glad y'all had diversity up there and have a Hispanic person, Sean Heron, up there."
Nice.
I was going to do that, and
it was Kevin Dixie, was it?
Yeah, it's Kevin. Every time I seen him, I'd yell, "Tony Simon!" And he just put his head down and shake his head. But we had a good time. There was a lot of people I met at SHOT Show that were there that remember me, remember the show, and Aero Precision was there. New company I didn't know, Rifle Speed, to make the gas.
Yeah, they make the length adjustable gas block that comes at different lengths.
They were nice. I got a little quick interview with him. It was loud in there in the Brownell's warehouse, but I did get a little interview. Met your buddy Tony from GOA, the redheaded guy that bringing you out. I got his contact info. He told me he says come out and be your guest at the range for range day on the 17th.
Nice.
And, there was a lot of good stuff. They did a really good job, even though we got rained on a lot. They had food trucks that were there. If you were brought out to the range, you got fed for free. They had a lot of good ammo there, a lot of good firearms. Shot the Aero Precision boat action 6.5. I think the 7 PRC, or something else out there. We were shooting at 500. Then who's the new FNAL company or the one that's making it? They got the Rhodesian color. I got a picture of it. Me and Jeremy and what's his name, Mitch from AR-15 podcast. We were taking it iron sights out to 500 yards. Of course, only one of us hit the target, but still, it was still nice seeing the mud splash out in the rain.
Now, Rusty, I do have to ask if you shot the suppressed lever guns that were over at Ranger Point.
Nope.
You didn't shoot those? They were the Ren Metalworks ones that's local to Derek and I.
They were. I seen them. They had them set up underneath the tent where we were all sitting. They had one that was highly polished. You could see yourself in it.
Yeah,
it was absolutely beautiful. But I didn't get a chance to get over there. The line was long for that, and I'm in the process of looking for a boat gun, and so I was kind of staying at the long range section, and I was kind of checking out some of the calibers over there.
Gotcha.
So there wasn't a lot of pistol options. I did see pretty neat company. I'm not real sure if I would use their product. I don't say I don't like it, but I did like it. A line. It takes place of the takedown levers for like the SIG, P320 and the Glock and stuff. And it gives you the gas pedal
Oh yeah. I've seen some
on
of
the
those.
side, and it makes the takedown really nice on them, and it gives you like an instant purchase and where your thumbs go. And I'm trying to think. He said they had 22 holster manufacturers that are making holsters for them, and I mean they're really really innovative stuff that was there. And they had a lot of advocate places there, local advocate, like for Iowa and stuff like that. So it was really good. I had a good time.
Sweet. That is awesome. So our buddies over at Patriot Patch Co., they're a bandwidth sponsor, have been since the beginning, I'm pretty sure. But more importantly, they have their Patch of the Month Club. You need to go look at it. Go check it out. This July exclusive says treason is the reason for the season. It's got a snake and a guitar and a musket and an AR, it looks like. So it's pretty cool. So there's that. They've been, basically supporting us since forever. Now, discounts, affiliates, you guys know where to find them on the website at firearmsinsider.tv. Now, Rob, take it away.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-host and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And our main topic tonight is going to be sponsored by Walker Defense Research. Walker Defense provides shooters with the finest, most innovative quality tactical accessories and firearm components around. From their Nile grip panels to their Nero muzzle brakes, no details are ever left behind. Only top-quality materials are used in the manufacturing process. Together, all of this gives you some of the best firearm performance around. Everything they have to offer is proudly made in the USA. Walker Defense, where American ingenuity meets bleeding-edge technology. And our Walker Defense product of the week is their FDE Bolt Carrier Group. And remember to use the code INSIDER15 for 15% off everything at walkerdr.com. And now our main topic tonight is going to be an interview with Eric from the Kids Safe Foundation.
There we go. So you're on deck. No, you're up. Sorry.
All right.
Now I'm just going to ask the simple questions first that take forever. So what is Kids Safe Foundation?
So the Kids Safe Foundation, we're a 501c3 nonprofit based in Oregon, and we teach, firearm safety and accident prevention to kids. And so we've, basically we have a couple different classes. We do an accident prevention type class, which is designed for young children 4 on up. And then we also offer range training for the kids. And then we also have a teen program. So everything we do is about, promoting responsible gun ownership, getting kids involved in the shooting sports, and also, teaching the next generation of future leaders, because, if we don't reach them and don't teach them about our 2A rights and how relevant they are, we're not gonna be able to keep them. And so we have to educate the next generation. And so that's kind of what we do.
Nice. So I know you give us maybe a brief rundown of maybe one of your classes, like just kind of quickly.
So one of my classes, the Kids Firearms Safety 1, is probably the most common class that we do. It's a 1-hour class. Like when I ran into, you came in and saw it one time.
Right.
It was at the Albany Police Department. And so there, we're talking about gun safety. We're teaching the kids what to do if they, come across an unsecured gun. We're talking to the parents about proper storage. And then we're talking about video games, online safety, Nerf guns, airsoft guns. And then we also cover anti-bullying. And so in that 1-hour class, there's information for the whole entire family. And so the goal is to make sure that when the families leave, they know, good storage options for the guns. And it's kind of our view that if we get to the parents and we kind of change the thought process about proper storage, we don't need the government to tell us to do it. We should just kind of think proactively and take that power back and bring it back to the people and make sure that the parents know the importance. If the gun's not on them for personal protection, it should go in some kind of secure storage. And, one of our sponsors is Vaultec, and we're thankful for their support. And so we, just basically showcase their product and give parents options.
Right. And, I just went just kind of to see it. And plus I know you. So, that kind of helped. But I liked how it progressed. You get kids of all ages there. And so, you get the little kids and they're asking questions and, and they're a little shy because they're little. And, at the end they've loosened up, and you can see that they probably picked up some of it. It's just like anybody else. They don't pick up everything.
Mm-hmm.
But, for the older kids, I liked how you also talk about online safety, because, it's so important nowadays, to be safe online, especially because there's so much bad stuff that can happen to kids online, which, you don't think about it with firearms as per se. It's like, oh, I'm going to this Kid Safe Foundation firearms class. But then when you have that, and like you said, with the bullying, there's other stuff in there that you can pick up, even if your family doesn't have firearms, or, just like, hey, it's like this, don't touch this, tell an adult, see what, stuff like that, where, because you want the kids to be safe. You don't want kids to get hurt, and that's, sometimes how kids get hurt. I mean, all of us probably have stories about something to that effect, so we do. And this will kind of lead us into the next thing. Gun websites ask what states you have hosted in so far. And you can answer the question, and then I'm going to lead you into where you're going with Kid Safe Foundation.
Well, so the states we've been in so far. So we've been in, obviously we're hosted here in Oregon. We go in and we travel into Washington, once every other month, once per quarter. We're also been in California. We've also been to Hawaii a couple times to reach the Kikis there. And we've also been in Arizona. And so, I don't know if you want to tease it or how you want to go, but, we've been in 5 states so far, and we're looking forward to expanding into other states. And that's kind of why I'm here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a follow-up question. Might as well let him ask him. What % of the kids' parents that show up with Kid Safe events come from homes with guns?
The probably the larger majority. I used to track it a little bit more carefully, and it used to be about an 80-20 split. And now ever since COVID, numbers have kind of changed, where now you have new gun owners, like what Tony's dealing with, where you have people that are new to guns, and so now, like, it's our job to educate, right? And so it's kind of almost like a 70-30 now. And so it seems like there's been an uptick in people, because obviously the world is getting scarier. And so, just having a presence online, being able to work on our SEO, we're getting exposure to parents that don't have guns inside the home. And that's where I enjoy that, because it gives us the opportunity to, talk about AR-15, talk about a semi-automatic handgun, and give good relevant information. We talk about, if we're talking about the modern sporting rifle, the AR-15, we're talking about the muzzle brake. We're talking about the gas tube. We're talking about the adjustable stock. Some of these parts of the pistol grip, depending on the state, those parts, which are just a part, just like with the bump stack, that's just a piece of a component to the gun. And so that adjustable stock doesn't make that gun any more dangerous or less dangerous. It comes down to evil intent. And so the whole point of us having these conversations with parents, especially parents without guns inside the home, is we're bringing them back to reality. We're also becoming a trusted resource for them, because we don't know where they're getting their information. It could be, you could be getting their information from CNN. They could be getting their information from TikTok. They could be getting their information from their friends. So they might not have good trusted data or information. And so that's where we're able to kind of like bring the conversation back to reality and talk about factual information when it comes to our firearms.
Nice. So since you're on and you've only been in a few states, you're expanding. And so you're headed out to what places?
So coming up at the end of July, I'm flying into Kansas City, Missouri. And then from there, I'm going to head to Wichita, Kansas for the first set of classes there. And then from Wichita, Kansas, I'm going to go into near Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I'm going to hit Oklahoma City in the same day. And then I'm going to head east to Arkansas. And I've got, 3 different locations that we're going to hit in Arkansas. What I'm really excited about this trip is we're doing a class at the Daisy Outdoor Facility. And so we're going to do our Kids Firearms Safety 1 class. And then I'm getting chills just kind of talking about it right now because I'm so excited. But then we're going to blow up a BB gun range at their facility, and we're going to shoot BB guns at the Mecca. And I'm super excited about that. And then from that, we're going to finish off back to Kansas City, Kansas and Missouri for our final class at Frontier Justice.
So how many days is this tour going to be?
About 6 days. 6 days, yeah. One day I have like 4 classes. My light days at Daisy, which I only have 1 class, which is very nice, which is a Sunday. And so I'll get to go check out the Daisy Outdoor Museum. And I'm just really looking forward to just catching up with people that I know via online, and you get to put a face to everything. And then I'm also going to do some video work with Vaultec. We're going to do our Safer Together series, like what they've done with Rob Pincus and Lena Mikulek. And so I'm really excited about that as well. It's just getting out there and a change of scenery and seeing if what we do here in Oregon will work in other parts of the country. And originally this all came to fruition because there was a county in Washington County in Arkansas. They have a juvenile justice program, and their staff reached out to us because there was no real, gun safety for children. And that's how they came across us. And so I had a great conversation with their staff. I presented to their local PDs as well. And so they're going to host us, and they're going to open up their facilities for us. They're also going to host us at the Springdale, Arkansas High School there in Springdale, Arkansas. And so, it's going to be, I'm excited. I'm hoping, I pray every day that, kids and people show up, because that's kind of the biggest fear is you put something out in the university, and Tony knows, it's like, you get this awesome idea. I get this opportunity to go to this spot, right? Are people going to show up?
Yeah.
And so that's always kind of makes me nervous, but I have enough time. And so
I get you. The
G-Webs.
Yeah, there's a question from, I don't know if you have an answer. It says, do you know about the J.M. Davis Museum in Tulsa? Might be awesome to set up there.
That would be amazing. Yeah, so it's such a down and dirty trip for me, where this is just me kind of hitting these spots. And so my schedule is going to be really thick, really tricky, because, from Oklahoma City, I have to travel to Arkansas that night. Luckily for me, and the way I'm very lucky here, is all the spots are about 2 hours apart. So I'll be able to hit all these different spots. I think that's the benefit about the Midwest over Oregon, Chad, is everything's so centrally located as I'm doing research here. And so, that's what I'm kind of excited about. It's like, I get to see all these big cities in a short period of time. And I'm concerned about the heat. Obviously, I think it's going to be warm, but we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it.
I hear you. I was going to ask if you're going to have all of those dates posted and where they're at, on your website.
Absolutely. I have everything. I have a custom landing page that I made. I did a whole bunch of press releases as well. I've been working really, really hard behind the scenes, and that's why I'm glad to have this microphone with you guys, because, just to get the exposure. And so I've been emailing, radio shows and TV, hosts, and doing all the stuff like, hey, I'm coming to your area, please help, and
right.
It'll all work out. And it's just, I have good partners that are involved and good sponsors, and the ranges are excited about having us there. So it'll be fun.
Right. And of course, it's kidssafefoundation.org is the website, pretty much, if people need to look into it. Now, I have another question about if somebody happens to be listening to this and they want to bring you out somewhere, like the people in the Midwest did, how would they go about doing that?
Well, you send me an email and we just start. I mean, it starts with an email or a phone call. And, obviously funding, as Tony would know, as an organization is really tight right now. Mm-hmm. And I think the industry is tight. And so, we do request sponsorship, and that's what, Vaultec stepped forward and said, hey, we want to be a part of this. And so they funded it. And so I'm really thankful for their support. And that's what it takes is basically, because we don't have a budget. Like some of these big, you look on the other side, we don't have billionaire financiers. We have some good folks, some good volunteers like what Tony does. And so, all we have is us. And so if people see the value in what we try to bring to the society, it's, we just need their help, and because I'd love to be everywhere, but I just can't afford to do it, and I'm hoping that, this tour opens up other doors, which I believe it will. But it's just about taking a chance and getting out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone is here in Oregon. I know this state because I've lived this state my whole life, and so, I know what my people here in Oregon, how they feel and what they think about guns and gun safety. And so it's just going to a different part of the country and seeing, how they respond. And so far, everything's been really great and very, very responsive. And so that makes everything so much easier.
Now,
it is like stepping off a freaking curb, though, man, because you leaving your support system behind.
Oh, yeah.
The Nebraska thing, when we did Omaha, I'm like, same thing. It was like, all right, new range, new people. And what I discovered is we're all the same, bro. You're going to do fine. We're all the same. Different faces, same attitude, same beliefs. And that's what I noticed. We had, when I did Omaha, we did 3 in one day at that range, 3 events in one day. And it just got better as they went on. My volunteers got more comfortable and it rocked. So you're going to do well. We planned ours for last year. It fell through because I am not a 501c3 and the organization I was working with couldn't really help me like that because I wasn't. But we had Tulsa, we had Oklahoma City, we had Kansas City, and we got ranges in those places. So it's scary because, we were trying to do it in a week also, and it's like straight rock star touring. It's like a day in this city, travel, set up, a day in this city, and do multiples. So I'm proud of you, dude. I can't wait for it to turn out well. I got a friend of mine because you already got a hookup, but I want to see if maybe they can help because they're out there too. More hands, more funds can't hurt.
Tony, I've known you many years, and to hear you say these words of like these affirmations that I get from you, like I can't tell you how much they mean. And so I'm really thankful to have you in my corner and you as well, Chad. And, I know it's that fear of the unknown. Like I did a little post yesterday because John Petrolino did an article on us, and I know once I get there, everything's going to be fine. It's just the nerves getting there. And, so, you never know until you try. Right. And so that's why I do what I do and you do what you do, is because like our rights are important to us, and the way we preserve and protect and defend our rights is making sure that we give either the next generation or people that are new, that are coming into the fold, the information that they need to make sure that they can stand with us shoulder to shoulder to stand in the breach. And that's what this is all about. And so I'm glad to have good folks like you in the industry that, believe in me and trust me and give me your microphone, so.
Yeah. Now I'm going to switch subjects on you because you talked about like your general class that you pretty much teach everywhere, but knowing you, the children can progress, correct? If they want to. So give us kind of explain that process.
So everything that we do is going to be either age specific or maturity level specific. Also ability specific. I I work with so many different kids, and I never call it a disability, because I always view things as an ability, because a disability is a negative connotation that we cannot grow past. In the past, we've taught the blind how to shoot. I have a young boy that knows how to shoot a rimfire rifle, and he's completely blind now, and so basically, the first class starts with our Kids Firearms Safety 1, where they learn about safety and how the gun kind of functions in a safe and controlled environment, which away from the range. And then from that, then we transition to our Kids Firearms Safety 2 class, which is on the range, and that's with rimfire rifles. And from there, and it's different every month. So kids keep coming back and they get more and more experience. And then once they get a little bit older, then we have what's called the teen program. And with the teen program, we have suppressed CZ 457 rifles that we fundraised a couple years ago to buy. And so this is for, kids that are maybe 10, 11, 12 on up. And so this is where we get to kind of normalize a suppressor, right? Because suppressors are normal. And we should always be yelling that from the roof. There's nothing bad about suppressors, because they help everybody, the whole experience. And then we get to shoot these rimfire rifles out to about 100 yards. And from those classes, I have teens that come back every month. And so when we're talking about that, we're talking once at the end of the class, we kind of bring it back to reality. Where did you guys enjoy what you guys just did? And typically they say, yes, we had a great time. And I said, okay, the way we protect this is we have to show up and we have to vote. We have to know who our politicians are. We have to know how civics work. And so that's kind of, I do a brief, I don't really force it down people's throat, but I talk about the importance of our two-way rights and how they can be protected through their votes. I've had 4 or 5 actual 18-year-olds on the range with us this will be their first time voting, and I'm really excited for them because they get to have their voices be heard. And I think that's what's really important about the work that we do, is because we're exposing that new voter to firearms in a safe and responsible manner, and we're basically shutting down the whole argument that guns are bad. And that's where we have to normalize this topic of gun safety. We have to normalize the suppressor. We have to normalize people carrying guns for personal protection, because in reality, we don't have enough law enforcement, and people need their guns to be able to protect themselves and their families, or a third party, in depending on where you live in the country. So that's kind of my elevator speech.
The elevator speech. Okay. Now, you brought it up, so I'm going to make you tell the story about the blind kid. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But
do you want it with tears or without tears?
Give me the short version without tears.
So
if you do tears, Tony and I will probably cry, and we'll have to turn our cameras off.
So anyways, so it was a few years ago. I was at Cabela's in Tualatin, and I was setting up for a class, and typically I get there an hour early to get set up and kind of get my head right. Well, it was about 15 minutes after I'd already been there. Well, the door opened up, and there was the man standing there with his son. And then I noticed the cane. There was a red and white cane, and I like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. And then I kind of, walked over and started talking to them, and I ended up having them come have a seat inside the classroom as I was getting set up. And so they wanted to get there early to kind of see what this is all about. They heard about gun safety and heard about our classes. And so then, I ended up had a great conversation with both of them, and then taught the whole entire class. And then we went and got a picture. And as I was walking back to the classroom with the dad, and his name's Riker, as I was talking to him as we're all walking back to the classroom, I asked him, so what could make this experience better for you? And he kind of thought about it for a second. He goes, can I touch the guns? And I looked at Dad, and that's when that light bulb went off, because for him, his fingers are his eyes. And so whenever, like, and that's totally counter to everything I've always done, where I always tell the kids don't touch the guns because I don't want them to go off. With him, if he were to come across an unsecured gun, he has to know where to put his hands, and that light bulb went off. And so we went back to the classroom. I safety checked the guns, made sure they're clear. Dad visibly inspected the chambers, and then we gave him a hands-on demonstration with a double action revolver, a single double action revolver, and we showed him, where the trigger guard was, where the hammer spur was, and so basically where the muzzle was. So basically, let's say he was at a park or at a friend's house. If he was to put his hand on something, he could tell where that muzzle was oriented. He could tell, where the trigger was. So, so it was a way for him to kind of know the whole process. From that, we started a Glock 17. So I cleared that one, and his dad showed him, the trigger guard, the muzzle, where the magazine, the mag well is. And then from there, we had a great time. And then he said he wanted to shoot. And I contacted the range and I said, hey, I got this weird question for you. I have this young man that wants to learn how to shoot. Do you trust me? And they said, well, we know you. Yeah, we trust you. Well, he's blind. Do you still trust me? And he goes, and they thought about it for a minute and they go, yeah, let's do it. And so, basically I set up a tripod, a way to hold the rifle. The first time we shot together, it was really rudimentary, where I put a laser on the rifle so I could tell at all times where that muzzle was. And then, his dad was the spotter, and then we went through the whole process, but I could tell from the laser where that muzzle was at all time. We had 10 other kids on the range too. So we had 11 kids altogether in that class. And from there, I met him that class was on the Sunday. I met him on a Friday for dinner, and I gave him a magazine because I wanted him to practice before the other kids, because I didn't want him to get discouraged, because, loading a rimfire into a rotary box magazine could be kind of challenging. So as I was preparing for this class, I had a Ruger American magazine that I put Braille on this magazine. Okay. I taught myself how to do Braille. I put Braille on this magazine, and that way he can tell which way the bullets go, because there's a certain way you have to load this magazine. And so I set it up so everything, I try to make it as easy as I can on him. And so we gave him a little bit of homework. His homework was to practice with these dummy rounds to load this magazine. So when we showed up on Sunday, he'd be ready to go. And he showed up on Sunday, and like the first time out the gate, first time loading the magazine with all the other kids, he loaded his magazine faster than they did. And this kid is my hero. And I tell him he's going to do whatever he wants to do in this life because he has the spirit, warrior spirit. And so, that's the goal. I'd love to have 10 kids on the range that are blind and adaptive. That's my goal, is do whole classes for blind children. So,
yeah. Yeah. And then,
here's my goal though, is every kid deserves the same opportunity. It's our job as an organization to make sure that happens. And that's what we try to do. Similar like what Tony's doing with inclusion.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that version.
Because I didn't cry.
You didn't make everybody cry. I've seen the videos. They're like on your Instagram and probably other places. So
yeah, it's so amazing. He's my hero.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And then I had Lauren make a custom photo for us, because there was I don't know if you draw by Lauren. He made this really awesome picture for both of us, and so I'm really proud of that experience.
Yep. I'm out of questions. If you want to talk about anything else, Derek, or if these guys have questions, they can shoot them your way. Nothing from you guys?
Well, no, I was going to ask him what was one of the more memorable events, and I think you just told us one, because we have. I mean, there's a lot, dude. I mean, because every event is different, and every event is special too because it's able to be had.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really cool because I didn't know how many states you'd already be in because I've seen the Kids Safe Hawaii. I didn't know what that was. Is that a separate organization or?
So that is under us. That's I was trying to set up a charter over there. The problem is just the restrictions over there. The range availability over it's very, very challenging. Like I have a separate account set up just for Hawaii where we're in talks of going back there, maybe in the fall or wintertime, and I'm securing a new range location over there. I actually have some rifles that I need to take over there and leave on the island. So I have rifles there, but it's just the restrictions over there. The Bruin decision, that was a great thing for everybody around the country, except for them, because they didn't want to accept the Bruin decision. And so they doubled down, and now it's the spirit of aloha that guides everything. And it's not based in reality, but it's their culture. And so, that's definitely a big challenge. And I look forward to going back there to help their kids.
Yeah, that spirit of aloha is going to get its back broken in the court. You can't make up a mystical. It's like sorry, bro.
It was comical. I mean, I made a meme about it. It was a guy dancing, and it was talking about the spirit aloha, and I said, and then it says stops a 9mm bullet, and he's like, he's not dancing anymore, because it's reality. It's that's so.
There is another question from GeoWebs. This is being in Oregon. Did the bad laws you recently had to deal with have any effect our interest in attendance on the Kids Safe events?
No, fortunately for us. Okay, so it did change one thing for us because, and he's probably referring to Measure 114. So Measure 114, similar like what you're dealing with in New Jersey, a permit to purchase, magazine restrictions, and so we were not going to make this purchase, but considering that this thing was getting ready to go into effect, we did receive a grant from Bass Pro Shops that was earmarked for our teen program. So what we did is we went out and bought 10 Ruger 2245 Mark IVs. So we have them before if this thing was ever going to go into effect, because if that law went into effect, there's a good chance that we wouldn't be able to even buy a firearm in the state of Oregon because of the way it's written. And so that's the only thing that we had to do to kind of hedge our bets to make sure that we had everything that we needed for the time being to kind of maneuver this court mess. It's still tied up in court. It's probably going to die, hopefully. But it's going to take years for that to happen.
Yeah. I get you. So where does everybody find you, Derek?
So you can find us on our website, kidssafefoundation.org. There's 2 S's there. You can also find us on our YouTube channel, Instagram, X. I don't do a lot on X. Should I do more on X, Tony? Following there.
What happened with X is I started concentrating on it and putting out some a couple of times, and it grew to the same size as Instagram in like less than 2 years. So it's a different thing, but it's worth it, I think. Because you just get the word out more, and that's all it is. I mean, that's what we're trying to do is get the word out.
Yeah, I just hate fighting with people online.
Ignore them.
Okay, it just seems like everything I see pop up on Twitter, it's like an argument, and I'm just like, I don't have the time. So
Nope.
I don't know.
I don't deal with it. If you have a question, cool, I can answer it. If you want to insult me, I'll block you and ignore it. I don't have time to put to this thing. I'm trying to grow myself, and I'm trying to be positive. Yep. There is no win for what you and I do going tit for tat against someone that might be a bot.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, which is why you just block them and move on. Let's see. Oh, and for people's information, there is also a link to the Kids Safe Foundation on the firearmsinsider.tv. I put that up, I don't know, 6 months ago or something for Derek. I was like, yeah, I'll put it up there just because, it's a good organization, So if you can't remember it and you can remember where to find us, you can head over there and do it.
So what I can do is I'll put a link back on my website as well. for you guys, so we can kind of that way we get some better traction that way. I can send you the link to the Midwest tour. I have a landing page there, and yeah, I guess that's the biggest thing I want to talk about is as I'm leaving is just people in the Midwest just know that there's a cool organization coming your way that cares about your kids, want to make sure your families are safe and protected, and also educated about gun safety. And so we're headed your way. And so we're flying out on the 24th of July. We're coming back on the 30th. So we'll be there 6 days in the Midwest.
Nice.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Exactly. Are you going to stick around?
I'll stick around for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you basically get to listen to some ads and a review, but you can add stuff about it. So next up, we have Primary Arms. They seek to provide you the best shopping experience for everything firearms. They have over 13,000 products, probably more like 15 or 20 now, knowing those guys. From your favorite brands, including a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearm parts, and shooting gear. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service, fast shipping, and an expert support team. Don't forget to check out their Primary Arms line of optics because, they're they make cool optics in all different ranges of value, price, quality. And our Primary Arms product of the week this week happens to be one of those. It's the SLX-1X Micro Prism. I put the green ACSS 9mm reticle in here because I don't think I have before. So if you need a prism sight for your 9mm carbine or something like that, you can find everything you need by heading over to that primaryarms.com. Also, we are still doing our giveaway, so you can sign up to win that Gen 4 SLX 1-6 with the 300 Black 7.62 reticle at firearmsinsider.tv/giveaway. And yes, now I have a product review. It is the CP Firearms Dragonfly. It's not a full rifle. It's a kit. And some might call it ugly. Some might call it pretty. I think our friend Dave from High Point said it looked pretty good, but then again, he works for High Point. So what do we know? I mean, really. So, of course, when it comes to the Ruger 1022 or its variants, there are tons of options for customization. CP Firearms has one of them. It's called their Dragonfly kit. The Dragonfly kit eliminates any part of the rifle that adds weight. They do this with carbon fiber and nylon. They did send me a Dragonfly kit for this review. I told them they could just hand it to me because they're up north, but they still sent it to me probably because of reasons, I guess. The Dragonfly kit comes with everything you need to upgrade that 1022. In this case, it's pins, handguard, stock, receiver to stock adapter. It does not supply the 1022 receiver or the trigger pack. So you can piece it together if you just want to buy a 1022 receiver and trigger pack and bolt. However, CP Firearms does make two different Dragonfly kits. One is for the standard style receiver. The other is for the extended rail receiver. And now they have another one for the tandem cross, whatever you have, Manicore or whatever.
Manicore X.
Trigger pack kit thing. So that's coming out too. Now, the Dragonfly will not fit takedown receivers, but it fits just about any other standard 1022 receiver. I would show it to you guys, but I really don't want YouTube to pull us off because of the Kid Safe Foundation. Before I go into the individual parts, I will mention a few things. Dragonfly kit is primarily designed for 22 rimfire action events, like Steel Challenge, Rimfire Challenge, stuff like that. With these shooting disciplines, you want a lightweight rifle that swings quickly or really quickly from target to target, especially since winning is based on the fastest time. Because the Dragonfly kit strips down the 1022 just to essential parts, some people may not find it very attractive. I kind of like the carbon fiber stripped down version. It kind of reminds me of like a Baja 500 racer. That's just me, but it is. Then starting at the front of the 1022, the Dragonfly gives you a tube style carbon fiber handguard. You still have to supply the barrel. I happen to use my Faxon flame fluted tapered barrel because that's the 22 that I put this thing on. Super lightweight barrels are available from varying sources, including CP Firearms. By using one of those super lightweight barrels, one can lose about a pound over what I have and make the whole 1022 weigh in at 3 pounds. So mine weighs 4. Dragonfly's handguard is really nice carbon fiber look to it. Very functional. Has a diameter of 1.58 inches when I measured it. It is 10.5 inches long. Now, to install that handguard, CP Firearms has a barrel clamp that the handguard then screws to. So you clamp the barrel in with this clamp, and you slide it down. So that's pretty simple, you think, except the Dragonfly kit they sent me, this handguard was super tight on there. I had trouble sliding the handguard onto that adapter. I ended up tapping it on with a rubber mallet. Once on, just snug up the screw to the handguard and you're ready to rock. Dragonfly's handguard allows for barrels up to 924-inch diameter, so any bull barrel work under there or non-bull barrel. The tight fit probably helps make the handguard extremely rigid. I think it would be rigid without it, but this one had a super tight fit. Of course, Dragonfly kit doesn't use any kind of chassis or typical stock, so it needs a way to attach the receiver to it. CP Firearms includes pins and screws to keep the trigger pack attached to the 1022 receivers. If you've ever had a 1022 apart, you know that there's 2 pins that basically hold the trigger pack to the receiver. So you get some captive pins that hold those on. And they also provide pins for the receiver extension. So once the receiver extension is pinned into the receiver, you can then mount up the other parts. You'll need an AR style pistol grip. CP Firearms states to use one of the beaver tail, but ones without them will work because I tried it. The beaver tail AR grip does work far better, so I do recommend that also. Now, the Dragonfly's receiver extension is threaded using standard AR buffer tube threads. But now that we've moved to the rear of the 1022, we have the stock. And it is the CP Firearms stock, and it is also comprised of carbon fiber tube. It has those AR buffer tube threads on it, so you just screw it into the Dragonfly's receiver extension, tighten down the castle nut. Then the carbon fiber tube's covered with a soft rubberish cover. This gives you a comfortable cheek weld on the stock. At the end of the tube is adjustable butt plate. Butt plate itself is slightly curved, decently sized. On it are raised bumps to give good purchase to one shoulder. It is hard, but I didn't even notice it when shooting the Dragonfly, probably because it is a 22 and there's not really any recoil. The butt plate's adjustable for tilt and rotation. So you can twist it left or right, and you can tilt the butt plate up or down. I do like the adjustability of the stock. In the stock form, the stock is an inch longer than the factory 1022 stock. So technically, you can adjust the length of pull, but it really only ends up by about a half inch until the tube hits the butt plate. So I asked them about it. They said you can cut it. So I cut an inch off of the tube to make the length of pull more comfortable for me, especially shooting target to target. Just wrap it in masking tape, place where you're cutting it, and saw through it, then sand the tube and use to get any imperfections out. It works fantastic since there's no real adjustability like a different style stock, like an AR stock or something. It works, but go slowly because you don't want to cut too much of it off. Now, initially when CP Firearms asked if I wanted to try the Dragonfly, I was a little hesitant. I'm like, hey, why not? Then I shot the prototype at a steel match. So when they asked if I wanted to go for the production versions to do a review on, of course, I jumped at the chance. Even though, like I said, mine weighs 4 pounds, pound heavier than the prototype, it still shoots fantastic. I used a 16-inch standard taper barrel, not one of the super lightweight ones available. Still swings good. I did end up mounting the Gideon Optics Omega on it. It's a great optic for this type of shooting. I was able to score really high up in the rankings at local steel matches with the Dragonfly. It just screams speed. So if you're looking for a way to make your 1022 as light as possible, the CP Firearms Dragonfly kit might be it. If that's you, you probably shoot some sort of rimfire speed shooting competition, need benefits of the Dragonfly's kit. I also see the advantage of having a super light 22, even if you don't shoot competitively. Either way, you should probably check out the Dragonfly kit. It's not cheap, but for certain games, so to speak, it's worth it. Now, I'll get into the Firearms Insider Review key points. Claim to fame, lightweight kit for your 1022. Target market is really competition shooters or anyone who runs a really, really light 1022. Features and benefits, weighs virtually nothing. The receiver extensions included. It comes with their carbon fiber stock, carbon fiber handgun, all the hardware, and it fits most receivers. I could not find any other reviews or anything. Now, price point, MSRP, it's $400. So if you need it now, check out CP Firearms. I mean, for the carbon fiber and the stuff you get, I don't think it's a bad price. I just don't see a lot of people, unless they're shooting competitions like this, looking into this. Now, if you just want a super light backpack 1022, it might work for something like that, even though it's not collapsible or something like that. But, it is available. Our rating pros, carbon fiber, comes with all the hardware. It's super lightweight. It is super fast from target to target. The cons is the long stock, and it is hard to install that forearm. I gave it a score of 8.5, which is great because it's so light. That's really why. You guys got any questions on it?
I like it. I'm wondering if I could put it on a Ruger American bolt action.
I don't think so.
And they're local, right? Where
they're in like Woodburn somewhere.
Really? I need to get a hold of them.
Yeah, I can give you his name and.
Yeah, because you set the kids up with bolt actions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have bolt actions. But what I'm trying to do, because some of the kids are struggling, is I'm looking to have something similar to this where instead of that carbon fiber fixed stock, I would put a carbon fiber adjustable buttstock so then I could adjust the length of pole.
Right.
And I was supposed to develop one with another local manufacturer, but that kind of fell through. So this really piques my interest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the other company also that does stuff like this, Tandem Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is throw the net out to everybody, man.
It's true. It's true. Well, it's like I said, they have an adapter, so it'll go on that Manicore Tandem Cross receiver, which is a little different than the regular one. So
yeah, I mean, I want to show it, but I can't.
Right.
And I'm not going to.
Right. I know.
Well, it's like because it's right here. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No,
I
know. I got it. Now,
and these are great, I think, for what they are. And it also changes it up a bit for the kids.
Yeah.
And for introducing new people to it. It gives you a straight pull, gives you a better trigger pull than the Ruger original. And everybody, it's a great way to start. Yeah, but this is even a better way to start.
Yeah.
The trigger's better. The length of pull, if you can adjust it, is better. The sucky thing about living in Jersey with the rules we have is we can't have a semi-auto with adjustable length of pull.
Right. So this would be fine in Jersey because it's a fixed stock. Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. Make sure and add that. Derek will make sure.
Put a little asterisk there for now.
For now, exactly.
100%.
Exactly. So you can always find all our reviews at the Firearms, www.firearmsinsider.tv. Of course, if you're listening to this, you can just click on the show notes and it'll take you there directly. If not, hey, you can find it by searching for us. That's the easy way. And Tony, we're not going to get into the spotlight and discussion, which I kind of figured. So
I didn't even mention it.
Do you want to catch this XS Sights ad and then tell us about the diversity shoot, and then we'll let Derek tell us stuff?
All right, cool. For over 25 years, XS Sights has helped you get on target faster, offering, what the hell is that word, bro?
Photoluminescent.
I could say photoluminescent. We ain't there yet. Tritinium.
Tritium? You don't know how to pronounce tritium? Like tritium night sights?
It does not look like it, man. It's tritium. Okay. Offering tritium sights in different types and styles. Low light is no longer an obstacle. Most options come with brightly colored photoluminescent ring. This colored ring, why do I have to read the one that has colored ring in it? Anyway, this colored ring makes them work great in the daylight too. XS Sights has sight styles for everyone. Big dots, ghost rings, standard notch in post, minimalist, suppressor height, all offering tritium options. Available for a plethora of firearm types from shotguns to handguns. XS Sights has you covered for all your low light sighting needs. Our XS Sights product of the week is the minimalist suppressor height night sights 4 SIG. Huge Independence Day sale started July 1st and runs through the 8th. 30% off site-wide and a free Hawaiian shirt with the purchase of $150 or greater at xssights.com.
Tony laughs at the shirt because they sent us, XS Sights sent us care packages, and they didn't have any his size, so they sent him like 2 4Xs or 2 3Xs.
They said, Tony, what size shirt you wear? I said 6X, so they sent me 2 3s. I'm like, that's not how shirts work.
I got one of you do the Chris Farley, big guy with a little coat.
Exactly.
It was hilarious, dude. So I laugh every time. And of course, I say plethora because 3 amigos.
That's right.
And if you don't get it, you need to watch that awesome piece of cinema
from the 80s or whatever.
Yeah. The next diversity shoot is coming up on the 18th of July at We Shoot in Lakewood, New Jersey. This is the first time we're being there in years. They're totally new company now from the one we worked with before. So it's a new neighborhood, and we can't wait to see you. And if you hear about it, share it on your social media, because these people have to hear it, and we want to knock it out of the park with a new range for our first event. So they put it out already in their emails that we're going to be there using their mailing list. They said they have a 40,000 person mailing list. They put their mailing list out, sold 1 ticket. So my thing is, I'm depending on you guys because we're already in the firearms community. So when I post out and when I put stuff up on Simon Says Train and when I put stuff up on Second is for Everyone on both X and Second is for Everyone on Facebook, I need you to share it, because the more people see it, the more chances we have of somebody coming out to We Shoot and them spreading the word. So I need your help. After that, the next week, we have another diversity shoot on the 25th, and I'm going to announce that and post that on July 4th. I want to make a big deal about that one because we're going to be at Union Hill Gun Club in Monroe. So we're going to have back-to-back diversity shoots in 2 different parts of the state, and we need as much help as we can get from you guys. So if you want to donate using going to diversityshoot.com. And if you want to donate using any other method from Cash App to PayPal, we have a PayPal link on our .com, diversityshoot.com. And we also have Cash App and what is the other one? Cash App.
I don't know.
Damn.
Venmo?
Not
Venmo.
Venmo. We also have Venmo. And if you want to use it, contact me at tony@diversityshoot.com. I'll send you the links. Or you can go to it using Diversity Shoot. But contact me. Help us out. Please share our stuff because it's very important. We're trying to create our own algorithm with our followers and sharing it. Share somebody all the time. Share Derek's stuff when he posts it up because it gets it in our algorithm, in our circle of friends, and our followers. We're going to have to do this on our own. The thing is there. The tool is there. They're limiting us with it, but we're limiting ourselves by not sharing it. So if you can help out, please help out. DiversityShoot.com. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Derek, want to go ahead and tell us about what you are doing and how we can help?
So how you can help, just what you said, beautiful. Likes, comments, shares, that stuff is free of charge, free 99. And that's what helps us break through this system of censorship. And so obviously we do need sponsors, funding, all sorts of stuff that typical, nonprofits need. And just know that, I can't speak for Tony, but I know him very well. Like the money that we raise doesn't go in our pockets. It goes back to make sure that we continue to do the work that we're doing. And so an investment in us is directly investing in your communities and the safety of your gun rights in New Jersey, but also the safety of the kids. And so I can't stress that enough, pebble, ripple, wave, right? So we start off with this small idea, we grow this idea, it comes into something, and then we have to get it to the next phase. And that's what we're both trying to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and
Thanks for having me, guys.
yeah.
All right, Derek.
You can stick
Thanks,
around
bro.
if you need to.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, if you need
All right.
to, take care.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Chad.
So you can send us questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. Check us out on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get notifications when the show goes live, or you can, get notifications that is going to come up in a day or so, whatever. Don't forget to check out our great sponsors. And as always, thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And I'm releasing this one a day early because have a great Independence Day. And then you can listen to this on Independence Day. And we are out.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
This podcast has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. For more, visit firearmsradio.net.